Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog. Today I'm going to start off by reviewing Attack on Titan Season 3 Episode 1 that just premiered last week, and Episode 2 is actually coming on tomorrow. So I can't wait to see the next episode. They crammed a lot in Episode 1, introduced some new characters, including Kenny Ackerman, who's a big deal in this particular arc. So they reckon they're going to fit probably two major arcs, in this season. So this one's going to center a bit more on the royal family, and it's going to be more a war internally within the walls of their world, and just with the royal family, and where Historia is actually, it's going to explain a bit more about her family. And it kind of did in this episode too. Just, she was, illegitimate child and a few things of Lord Rice, but there's a lot more to it that needs to be explained. And there's a fake king and all this sort of stuff that's going to be revealed. I don't know if I spoiled that. I probably did, but I think a lot of people already know what's going on just with the by reading the chapters. It's far ahead, but there's like a conspiracy kind of thing going on, and it's all going to be revealed in this season. And it's also the secrets of the the Titan history, and what's going to happen in the future with Eren and everyone. Actually, this episode is really interesting because I think it starts off where it's going to end for the season, where Eren is at a beach looking out, to the sea and stuff. And obviously this has been a dream of theirs for a long time, especially Armin's. But Eren does mention, my wonder is what's actually further beyond that. And that's going to be something that'll be revealed, I think, in the next season. But at least with this season, we're going to get a lot of stuff explained. A lot of people that have been watching the series and don't read the manga have been just wanting to know, where the hell did these Titans come from? How did Eren even get his abilities? What's really going on with the royal family? What's really out there in the outside world? Although that's going to be revealed a bit later, but it will be. I'm going to end up spoiling the whole season, but it's going to be really good. Episode 2, I guess, is going to be Kenny and his whole crew taking on the Levi squad. But it was just brutal how I forgot her name, but she was just I already knew what was going to happen to her, but in the actual episode, you could tell that they were trying to put more of a presence of her, because she was kind of in earlier seasons, and she got her face blown off by Kenny. So that's why it's probably not even worth remembering her name, but it's there. I'm just lazy to look it up. It was a really good episode. I guess there's not much. I'm gonna end up spoiling too much, so I'll leave it at that. For fight talk stuff, so there was a UFC on Fox this morning, just looking through. So I did watch at least the last two fights and how they ended. I gotta go back. I know that Joanna Jędrzejczyk beat Tisha Torres in a decision. I don't think she'll ever really get back to where she was, but at least she's back on the winning winning streak. This is her first win since her 2 losses to Rose Namajunas. So I like Joanna. Her style's very tactical, very striking based, but she's never really been a knockout artist. She's more about outpointing and outstriking and outclassing her opponents if she beats them, except unless you take on Rose, who either knocks her out or beat her at her own game. Jose Aldo knocked out Jeremy Stevens. I don't know why I find that funny, but I mean, all of these fighters are tough, man. But I think Steven talks a lot of trash, but doesn't really deliver. And I think he's got his record's now 28-15-0. I'm pretty sure all of his losses are in the UFC. I think 14 or 15 is like the record amount of losses in the UFC, and he holds that title. But to see that Jose Aldo is back and knocking out, because he actually got him with a body shot first, and this was in the first round. 4 minutes 19 was the KO time, but it was more of a TKO, but he got him with a body shot and then just ground and pounded him and just had to keep striking him down until Evil Levine stopped the fight. But yeah, I'm pretty happy for Jose because he's had it rough, losing to Conor, beating Frankie, then getting beaten by Holloway twice. But he's a legend, he doesn't have to prove anything, and he's the man. But yeah, and then Dustin Poirier knocked out Eddie Alvarez, and it was more of a TKO, just back and forth kind of exchange. Eddie did do a few little dirty tactics. I don't know what that's about, but in round 2, they called the fight. It was just he was a bloody mess and he just got beaten up. But it's really interesting how Dustin's really come back, and his record's not too bad. 24-5-0 with 1 no contest. But those 5 losses, we've seen him get pretty humiliated. Conor knocked him bad. Michael Johnson knocked him dead. So you always felt like, this guy's just a gatekeeper. He's not really gonna, make it to a title contention. But now he's in the mix. He's knocked out a former champion. He's been on a roll, and yeah, man, I think he deserves it. He seems like a really nice guy. I think he's a very passionate dude, and yeah, I think whoever wins out of that, Conor Khabib, he might have a shot at them in the future. So we'll see what happens. Actually, I think Conor pleaded guilty for what he did to the tour bus. So I don't know. I didn't really look it up properly, but I think he's probably just gonna have to pay some sort of thing. I don't know. I could probably look it up now actually, but I don't find it that interesting because I know he knows he did something stupid, but it's Conor McGregor. He's kind of untouchable really right now. So let's see what it says here. To be honest, all the news is just saying, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Oh yeah, they've got it. It's gonna be announced soon. So it looks like, yeah, he's doing community service, man. I already assumed it because it's Conor McGregor. He's got millions of dollars and people want to see him fight. The whole world wants to see him fight. He did something stupid. I don't think he's ever going to do it again. I would hope not. Yeah, that's really what's going on with the UFC part of it. The boxing, so Joseph Parker lost to Dillian Whyte. He got knocked down twice in the fight. He actually knocked down Dillian Whyte though in the last round to try and come back. But he only really pushed the pace in the last 2 rounds. So it was, a 12-round fight. So the whole first 10 rounds was kind of more on, Dillian was just outstriking him. But Parker came back towards the end. He looked good, but it wasn't enough. He lost. But it was a pretty respectful exchange between the two guys, even after the fight, just discussing it. It looks like Dillian Whyte might have another shot at Anthony Joshua next. But really, we want to see Joshua fight Deontay, man. Like, they got to make that happen sooner or later. I mean, Deontay's claiming that they're ducking him and that things got complicated in the negotiations and then they just pulled out. I don't know who to believe. But I would really like to see that fight before we see any other fights with Joshua. But pretty gutted for Joseph Parker, but he's kind of in a weird spot now because people respect him. They know he's a good boxer, but a lot of people want to see him get rid of Kevin Barry and the Duco squad and all these people he's with. Like, just try something different. Maybe move to the States. Just team up with some new trainers and learn some new things. Maybe. I always felt like Joseph. I respect him a lot. I love him for what he's done for New Zealand boxing as a whole. I mean, he's our first world champion, but I've always felt like he doesn't seem like he's got enough power to really knock these guys out. Not that it matters, you can have the skill, but you're getting a lot of these guys that are full package kind of fighters. Like even Dillian Whyte, he's more of like he's not as experienced and he's getting better and better, but he's got an edge, he's got a bit of a street fighter kind of sensibility about him. And then you look at a guy like Deontay Wilder, he's more of a basketball player guy, but he's boxing and he's knocking dudes out in a very unorthodox style. But then you also get a guy like, they're different level guys now, so it's going to be really hard to see him. It's almost like he just needs a new camp, even if he goes and trains in the UK or something. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Alright, so lastly, just onto a few little WWE rumors that are going around. So There's speculation that John Cena and Undertaker might be facing off at SummerSlam, but it's not a definite thing. Makes sense. Number 2 pay-per-view, they had their WrestleMania match. But it really depends. Cena's always got something going on. The other thing is they reckon The Rock might be on Raw this week. It's going to be in Miami, so that's obviously his hometown. And possibility of him even wrestling next year at WrestleMania. There's discussion about him maybe wanting to come back. I don't know if this stuff is actually true. I've just seen it on a few websites. Most recent one I just saw was on Forbes, so who knows. And I guess just wondering what's going to happen with Brock Lesnar. So, Roman lost in the match when he should, where most of us thought he should have won. Even the people that hate him were just like, it makes sense, give it to Roman, and then everyone else can win it off him. But it looks like there's rumors he may even retain the belt and go into the UFC fight with Daniel Cormier with his championship as well, which I guess marketing wise would be kind of clever. I mean, it's not the same sport, but it would look kind of cool, like champion versus champion. And then but I don't agree with that. I think what should happen, I think most of us agree, is that he should lose to Roman for Roman to get cashed in by Braun and lose the title on that night, and then just chase for the belt for the next year, where guys like Bobby will get a chance at Braun and lose. Braun deserves to have a monster run like Brock, just so that Roman can, when he eventually does beat him, because who are we kidding? But then it just sets up feuds for Seth to finally beat him. Seth deserves that belt, but I think next year will be a better time. Seth's just organically just come back up as the top babyface, and he's the Seth that I liked in NXT, and most people like the Seth that won the title was a bit more of a, he's a conniving, annoying little character, but it actually tells a pretty cool story because of how he's turned out now. He's learned from his mistakes and blah blah blah. I mean, this is wrestling, but he's a prodigy. Seth is he can do anything. He can wrestle like anybody. He can do anything, high flying, power, everything. But at this time, I think it's a transitional period. Roman just needs that one moment with that belt, and then I'm sure he'll probably eventually just go to SmackDown or something. They can't carry this on for much longer, but at least by the time he carries it over to Seth beating him for the belt, then Seth can take the mantle, and I think a returning Dean with taking on Seth would be pretty cool. But I think I'm pretty sure Dean was supposed to be back a while ago. But yeah, anyway, that's just a few WWE things I've been reading about. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, check out Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 1 and 2 is coming tomorrow. And just I'll keep you guys up to date with any other things I find out about the new Dragon Ball Super movie as well, because that's the biggest deal to me. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like my videos, and I'll see you guys soon. Catch you later.